Hello and welcome to a webinar from McCusker of Intelligence Software. Today I'm going to be talking about business development for recruiters. Fascinating subject. We've got lots and lots to talk about. Okay, first off, recruitment is a funny business. It's always a case where there's this balance between jobs and candidates. And either you've got lots of candidates and no jobs, or loads of jobs and no candidates. And generally speaking, the sweet spot for most recruiters working in recruitment agencies is where candidates are in scarce resource. And therefore, you can charge somebody money for providing a candidate for the job, given that recruiters tend to be looking for people for jobs rather than jobs for people. Of course, whenever you have a valuable candidate, the tables turn, and at that point in time, you want to be more proactive in terms of going out and finding jobs that you know you can fill, or indeed for companies that are proactive in growth with a market that is reasonably balanced between candidates and jobs. You want to be equally proactive in terms of going out and doing business development to find opportunities to make placements, jobs that you can fill, clients that you can work with, and ultimately make more money. And today's webinar is all about trying to find ways in which we can be a little bit smarter about how we do business development, be a little bit faster in terms of getting information, managing information, and being able to spot the opportunities. So today I'm talking about three main areas and lots of little throwaway giveaway things that hopefully you'll find useful. I'm going to start off talking about identifying employers. So if your starting point is from a skills position, who's employing these people? Who's employing people right now? Who has vacancies right now? And ideally being able to be there to fill the vacancy just in time, just as it exists, so you know about it in advance. Something I'm going to talk about is researching the target client. Who works there? What do they do? What's the company structure? Who's just left there? All really important information to know so that you can be more professional, more positive, and more effective as a recruiter to fill the jobs. And then I'm going to look at this whole process of automating this process. So it's not you having to go out and drive it all the time. It's a case where information just comes to you as you want it and tells you what to do and when to do it. Okay, so those are the topics for today. Let's jump straight in then, and we'll have a quick look at some techniques to identify employers. I'm just going to open up an Internet Explorer here, and I'm going to go over to the recruiter's favorite social media website, which is LinkedIn, and I'm just going to have a quick look to see. Imagine, if you will, that I am a recruiter recruiting for electronics, and I have a particular specialism for FPGA, Field Programmable Gate Array people. From way back when I used to be an electronic engineer, those days are long gone. Anyway, this is a simple search. Type in FPGA, I've got 66,000 people. Say, for example, I'm based in the UK, so I'm interested specifically in the UK. So as you can see, this is the most basic search you can possibly do on LinkedIn. I've got a keyword search. I filtered it by location in the filtering box on the left-hand side. Now, this is the bit I want you to focus on. Top right, top left-hand corner, all companies. It tells me the companies that employ people with FPGA skills in the UK. ARM, Thales, Xilinx, these are the companies that are recruiting these type or employ these type of skills. Super duper. Well, this gives me an immediate position, a starting point. Companies that I know I need to be aware of, either from a business development point of view or indeed a headhunting point of view if I wanted to go out and try and find candidates. So let's have a look. Now I'm going to show you another little tool that I developed, and it's hung off our intel-sw.com website. If you go intel-sw.com/search, SEARCH. I don't really promote that link too much. I'll bookmark it somewhere. intel-sw.com/search. This is a Google custom search. And this was designed originally to try and help you with particular profiles, but I've added a few refinements onto it. So I'm going to do the same sort of search. I'm going to go FPGA. I'm going to say, I'm actually going to say FPGA designer. And I'm going to say London. Okay? And I'm going to do my search. And what this search does is gives me FPGA designers in London, hopefully, but it's going to give me LinkedIn profiles of people that have those phraseology, the FPGA in London. Here we've got a whole lot of them, as you can see. FPGA design engineer, Guildford, electronics design, Guildford again. So these are people that are there. However, There's a refinement on this. In the box at the top, it says vacancy search. As I click on that, what do I get? I get FPGA design people. The first one on the list is this gentleman, Matthew. Now, what I'm interested in, however, these are people that have FPGA in design and London, but most importantly, they have just changed job. You can see there that he's in a job September 2012 to present. Now, it's the start of October as I'm recording this, so that means that he's just started that job. In theory, therefore, if he's left a job as an FPGA designer, that company may well have a vacancy. If I want to see what happens, I'm going to show you what did happen what is now happening with LinkedIn. You might be interested in this one. If I just open up this page, it takes me to his LinkedIn profile. However, I'm logged in on this browser. You can see it says my name at the top. And because he is a second degree connection, I'm getting lots of useful information. Okay, I thought Matthew was a third degree connection. That has totally ruined my argument. Let me try with somebody else. Let's try David here, see if I'm not, let's try David and see if I'm not connected to him. Secondary connection too, that's no good. I'm looking for a third degree connection here. Let's try this gentleman. Third degree connection, good. At long last I found somebody who's not giving me the information I want. This is what LinkedIn is now doing, the third degree connections. And it's not doing very much, it's giving me precious little information. And it's a bit of a problem. Even if I click on the link for his public profile, for some reason, it goes to the public profile, but it knows that I'm Shane McCusker. It knows that this person's a third degree connection and it's not giving it to me. And there's a quick fix to that. What you only want to do is on Google Chrome, hold it down and go open link in an incognito window. And whenever I do this, it doesn't log in as Shane McCusker. And lo and behold, look at the amount of information I've now got on Franco. Lots and lots and lots of useful information. Okay, so there's just a little quick tip. If you want to access LinkedIn profiles that are third degree connections, you can't see anything, log out of LinkedIn, try and access a full public profile, and hopefully you get a good bit more information. Okay, back on track again from the business development point of view. So hopefully you'll see that Matthew, who happens to be a secondary connection, lo and behold, I can actually get into his information. I can see that he has started work for this company, Celex. He's just started. He's only there for a month, effectively. He left Calais, September. Chances are Calais is now looking for an electronic engineer in Crawley. So we have a vacancy to go following up on. However, this is focusing on LinkedIn, and despite what some people think, I don't actually have any relationship with LinkedIn at all other than being a user of it. I don't even pay for an account. However, that's not where most information that is useful to you actually is. What you should be most interested in is your internal information that's in your own database. So how can we use this information to highlight business development opportunities? Very easy. Let me show you intelligence. Now, I appreciate some people in this call will be using intelligence, some people will not. Hopefully you can do some of this stuff with your own systems if you can't get a system where you can do it with it. Intelligence, as you see, can do these things. I'm sure there are other ways and means of doing it. This is the candidate screen on intelligence. Okay, now, I'm not going to go into the detail of this. I just want to show you one subtle little thing. Gives you the name, gives you the contact details of the candidate. Just going to zoom in on an area. You can see in this profile section it tells me where he works and what he does. And I just want to focus in on one area, which is this small red arrow immediately to the left of one of his job titles. What that tells me is it's a subtle way of saying that I don't know who that company is. It also tells me I do know who IBM is and ABC Systems is, because what intelligence does is whenever you're looking at a candidate record, it automatically cross-references and looks up all that person's employers against your client database. And that means you can highlight when a candidate that you're talking to knows something about a company that you're not doing business with and potentially could be doing business with. More importantly, however, this is a candidate. All your candidates are potentially active job seekers. You will have knowledge of some of those people who are about to leave a position, and therefore the company that they're leaving may well have a position. Now, what are you doing with that information? Bear in mind that you've got information there that maybe that person's employer doesn't even know. Maybe that person's employer doesn't know that that person's going to leave and leave them with a skills gap that they need to fill. So you've got information there that that is so important and so vital. It's probably possibly more important to you than the candidate themselves are. You may not place the candidate, but the candidate may move without you placing them. Somebody else, they may find their own job or do whatever. So it's really, really important that you're able to understand that information and search it. Because this is one of the really clever things with intelligence. Those people who are using intelligence and watching this video, this highlight is searchable. You can create a hot list to say, show me all the candidates who have registered in the last week that work for a company I don't know. In other words, show me all the people that we can start doing business with that we haven't done business with already. You can search this stuff. Any recruitment system, you should be able to do a basic search to see, right, who's registered with us recently, what's going on, who's moving job, when are they changing job, what are the skills of those people. Create a report. Show me all the job titles of the people that are registered in the last month. It'll give you, or all the companies that the people registered in the last month are currently working for. You know, this sort of information is your call sheet for the future. And with intelligence, you can do all sorts of really interesting things with it. I'm just going to jump over to intelligence and I'll show you this in action. This is not a screenshot. This actually is intelligence. And there we can see intelligence software. The useful thing about this is whenever I click on that, we're moving in. Once we identify the company you want to go recruiting for, now we can say, okay, let's research this company and find out more about them. As soon as I double click on the company in intelligence, it'll either take me to that company record, in which case I got lots of information about them, or in this instance it says the client doesn't exist. Do you want to create it? Yes. So we create a brand new company for intelligence software. I don't know anything about them. I may have read about them in the newspaper that they've won a big contract and are employing people. I may never have heard of them before. But as soon as I create the record in here, I want to find out information I can use to help me do business development with that company. This is the sort of stuff we throw at you automatically. You've got names of people, Troy, Mary, Sean. We've got job titles, developers, salespeople, support people, HR people. What we're doing here with intelligence is we're automatically giving you all the people that you know that work there. So it's not just the HR manager or the line managers, it's all your candidates who work there. The people in blue are all your candidates' references or referees that work there, people that they know. If I scroll down this list, I'm getting people who's highlighted with anybody who just mentions intelligence software on their CV. Intelligence software is not a common word to appear on somebody's CV unless they've got some relationship with that company. You can use all this information, have it at your fingertips so you can pull it all together and see it dynamically. If I open up my browser, it immediately takes me to a page that shows me all the people in my LinkedIn network that work there. I can go and have a look at all these people. Now, you don't need intelligence to do this. I can show you this because all I have to do is go to LinkedIn and do a search. So I do a search for intelligence software, find out who works there in the company. If you want to go to my profile, you can see the company page for intelligence software. Intelligence now have as well as a people search. You can also do a type in. No. Long last. So you can search on companies. There's intelligence. We go there. Eventually, it would just be quicker to click my link on the link time. Let me just click on the. Where's my link on the profile? I go to software. It tells us the link I'm looking for. Everything's freezing up on me here. Here we go. Click on intelligence software, and it takes me to intelligence software's company page. So it's a way of seeing who works in a company, what they do. Sorry, my screen's just frozen here. This is LinkedIn. Come on, LinkedIn. So LinkedIn will take me to a company. It'll show me all the people who work there, all the people who are in my network, outside my network. I can search this. I can find out what's going on. I can also follow companies. I'm not entirely sure why you'd follow companies. I follow a lot of companies just to see what would happen, and nothing much happened. LinkedIn promises you the world about sending you updates about these companies, but it doesn't seem to want to do so. So you can experiment and find a bit more on that. Anyway, so on one screen, therefore, you want to see all the information you have at your fingertips. You want to collate it all together and pull it all together. Okay, what else can you do? I'm going to minimize intelligence because I know a lot of people on this call are potentially not using it, using other things. Let's go back and have a look at what else you can do. So some of the other stuff that interests me, say for example you just go on to a company page. Let's go, for example, I'll look for a bank called F&B, which is a bank in South Africa. Obviously, if you go onto a company web page, you can find out a lot about it. But there's a little add-in I have here. It's called Who Works For, and if I click on that, once I'm on a page, it can also do a search of all my LinkedIn connections and other social connections and tell me everybody I know who works there. So this is similar to the widget that we had in intelligence, only I think the widget intelligence is more effective than this one. This is the newer widget from LinkedIn, and here it comes up. It just sits in the toolbar. You can go searching for it. There's a Chrome add-in for it, or you can just search for who works at on Google, and I'm sure you'll be able to find that. So that's a nice little tool that is available for anybody who wants it. Okay. I want to show you something that's brand new, and it's quite exciting for me to show you. This is the first time anybody's ever seen it, and for a good reason, in that it's not quite finished yet, but it's good enough for me to show off, and I'll show you what it does. I was really interested in LinkedIn. Whenever you follow a company, it promises something that it doesn't deliver. It promises to tell you when people leave that company, but it just doesn't work. It just doesn't notify you. So I thought to myself, I wonder how you can do that. And it's actually really, really difficult to do that. But I've managed to crack it. And have a look at this. Intel-sw.com/search levers. Capital S for search, capital L for levers, all one word. And you come here. And this is a product that I'm developing. It's free. It's probably going to be free. So by all means, try it out and see how it works. It's not finished yet. So if it doesn't work, just tell me. It's hot off the presses. If I pick a company name like F&B, for example, type it in, what does it do? It tells me anybody it finds that's recently left F&B. And here's Kyle Cullen, who's a secondary connection to me. And up he comes, and he's just left F&B. And you can type in any company. We'll try the bigger companies. Because they'll tend to have more people leaving. If I go BBC, you'll get 7 or 8 people there. It'll also, if BBC, the bigger companies have maybe different names under LinkedIn, so you can ask it to suggest things. So if I go BBC News, for example, it doesn't find anybody, and you can play around and see what it is you find. The bit that doesn't work quite yet is this alerts thing. What I'm hoping to do is set it up so that you can put in an email address, and then create a weekly alert for yourself, so it just notifies you. But at this moment in time, that bit of it's not working. But it will be. It'll be working very soon for you. But it's more a case of the search. Try the search to see how it works. It's an interesting idea, and I'm just playing around with it a little bit to see what happens with it. Okay, what else have we got for you then? Right, there's a few other mechanisms for alerts. This is the thing, I mean, it's all very well doing these searches, but if you don't find something now, you do quite like to be notified about it in the future. And there's quite a nice little thing that I found quite some time ago. This is, to be honest, I'm not too sure how useful it is, and that LinkedIn does it anyway. This is jobchangenotifier.com, and all you do is log into it with LinkedIn, and it'll send you an email when any of your LinkedIn connections change job. So I thought it was a quite nice idea to, if you want to monitor a pool of people, my company change notifier, I suppose, looks at a particular company. This looks at your connections within LinkedIn and tells you when any of those people change job. I just send you an email. I just thought it was a nice little thing. Have a look at it if you want to. What else have we got? Okay, but this is looking at LinkedIn changing situation. What happens if you want to have a company notify you whenever they start advertising or promoting jobs? That's always a good way to be informed. So I'm going to show you this. I randomly picked a careers page. This is an organisation that amused me. I have no idea what they do, but British Roller Sports Federation, governing body of all roller sports, and their career page, which is brsf.co.uk careers. Now, what I've also got, I've got this other little toolbar that I've added called Page Monitor. If you Google the phrase Page Monitor or Web Page Monitor, there's loads of these around. So have a look at them. What they do is basically you go to a web page. If you like the look of it, you go set it to monitor the page. And whenever you monitor the page, you can check for changes that you monitor, and it will tell you if any of those pages have changed. Once a page is changed, you can go in and have a look at it and see what's changed about it, what new jobs there are. So it alerts you to the fact that there's something changed about it. So if you're interested, go to all your customers' careers pages, set up alerts on it so that you get alerted or notified whenever something new appears. What else can you set up notifications for? Well, career pages aren't the only place where people advertise jobs. Obviously not. A lot of them advertise jobs onto job boards. And it's quite interesting whenever you look. I've talked about X-ray search before, which is the operator site colon. It's quite interesting to use it in conjunction with job boards. If you look at, for example, Career Junction is a job board in South Africa, and if you do site colon Career Junction, it gives you all its different pages. And you'll notice that some of these pages are pages of the Career Junction domain that are set up for particular customers. So I could, for example, go in and have a look at, I'm trying to find one here which has got a lot, jobs at Africa Telecom. And I can have a look at that. So I could set up a page monitor alert for africatelecoms.careerjunction.com, and every time they post a new job up there, I'm going to be notified at it. But I can also do it for, if I look at, let me scroll up here again, if I go to careerjunction.coza, then I also see that it also has pages up there for, say, mining jobs. So I might set up an alert to say, alert me whenever there's a new mining job to get posted up there. And you can also use these page notifiers for that. You can also use Google Alerts to do things. If you go on and have a look at, let me just find this, Google Alerts. You can tell Google to monitor things. You can take these X-ray searches and drop them in there, and then Google will alert you. You know, I have an alert running on my own company name, for example. I also have alerts looking at some of my competitors' names. You can set up monitors for competitors to see what jobs they're advertising, to see what's going on there. So all this stuff, you can plug the web and set up these alerts to proactively tell you about things that are going on. The other place, of course, you can do searches for is Twitter. And Twitter is a wonderful place to go looking for jobs, because very often when tweets are sent out, they have a hashtag on them, which basically means the tweet contains the phrase hash job or hash jobs. I think you can use, let's do a site colon Twitter. Twitter.com, and I'll say, let's go jobs, hash job or hash jobs, London FPGA. And what do, I get a whole list of jobs that are being tweeted about that are FPGA designed London with the links to those jobs. And I can go and have a look at that. If you want to, I use Hootsuite. Let me just open this up for you. You can have a look at this. Hootsuite is basically a control system for Twitter. And it'll load my Twitter. Come on, Hootsuite, load up there for me. Here we go. Go to click on. I want this feed for in the world, hash job or hash jobs FPGA London, so that gives me a feed of that. So that's obviously a job type, but you can also set it up for companies. So I can search here for any jobs that are associated with Coca-Cola. I might change that to, oops, change that to, rather than Coca, edit the stream, say Pepsi. And lo and behold, I get alerted to anybody tweeting about jobs that are going on in Pepsi. And you could use that for any company name, obviously. So there's another way to be able to search and be notified and create these dynamic searches that tell you about stuff. But fundamentally, start off with your own information management system. Look at ways that you can set that up so it provides alerts for you. It provides the information to be able to spot opportunities coming from candidate information, client information. Look at the internet, be able to search and pull that through. Have a look at some of those searches that I came up with. The intel-sw.com/search or intel-sw.com/search levers. See what you get on that. Give me some feedback on it. That's about it from me today. Thank you very much for your time and attention. If there's anything else that I can help you with, any questions or queries, follow my blog, intel-sw.com/blog. Follow me on Twitter. Link to me on LinkedIn. You can also subscribe to my YouTube channel where you'll see videos like this. Thanks very much for your attention. We'll be doing more and more webinars over the coming period of time. Also, for anybody in South Africa, keep an eye out for True SA coming to you in November in Cape Town and Johannesburg. Bill Borman will be in country talking about social recruiting. Bill's a world and global expert on the subject, so it'll be really fascinating to see what happens in truesa.coza. Have a look at the website, truesa.coza. You can book tickets. It's happening within a month, November 2012. Talk soon, everybody. Thanks for your time. Bye-bye.